Hello, and welcome back to My Life in Film. And today we've hit 1994, so we're going to jump straight in with the top 10. And number 10 is In the Mouth of Madness. Again, John Carpenter has returned to my list, which is great to see. It has been a while since we've seen one of his films pop up. This one is right out there as we follow an author looking to uncover the truth about what is happening before just descending into madness, hence the title. Sam Neill comes into this movie and is brilliant, and you just want to see just where everything ends up going with this performance, right up there with his very best. Number 9, Edward. Edward is the biopic about the director who gave us the so-called worst movie ever, and we just get to see how this production happened and how this somehow bumbling man produced something that's got such a cult following. It is up there with the conversations of The Room in this era of cinema. So that's one we have to love. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton, one of their partnerships that works and sometimes doesn't get as much credit as it would deserve. The biggest ones I haven't seen, well, we're going to have some simple ones. The Santa Claus movies. Why would I watch them? Let's be honest. The Hudsucker Proxy, again, I'm picking the ones near the top of the list. Don't know much about this movie. Clerks. This is a stranger one for me because I have seen nearly all of Kevin Smith's movies after Clerks. It's just one I've never really gone back to. And being British, you would have thought I would have seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Surely everybody's seen that movie in England, right? Wrong. Into number 8, we get serious again with Quiz Show. This follows the scandal about one of the biggest quiz incidents of all time. We have Ralph Fiennes and John Turturro, who are fantastic in this. It is one of the more underrated ones. It was one all around the Oscars, but there were a few other movies this year that really took the cake. When we're talking about pure quality of movie, this would have easily won an Oscar in a few other years, but there was too much competition this year. More on that later. Number 7 is Interview with the Vampire. With Interview with a Vampire, we watch an interview with a vampire as he tells of the life story of his hundreds of years' life, how he got turned into a vampire, and how he learned about the different goods and bads they would be doing, and lost his love, which was a young girl he turned into a vampire as well. Well, we ended up with Tom Cruise in a villainous role, and one that the author of the book did not like, and then saw the movie and was immediately apologetic about not agreeing with this casting. We also have Brad Pitt doing something that Brad Pitt hadn't done before, breaking more into a lead role. So another great one. Films I didn't like. Maverick. I just could not get into Maverick at all. It even involves poker, and when I watched it, I was a big poker player, and just not into it. Dumb and Dumber. Yep, we have comedy on the list yet again. But it's just too slapstick. It is better than both of the others by a long way. Like the second Dumb and Dumber with Kerry and Bridges is unwatchable, but this one, I'm just not into comedy, man. Then we get the controversial one of Pulp Fiction. Again, I try to sometimes put the directors I don't like all of their movies for, and Pulp Fiction is one. I just don't really like Pulp Fiction. I do love nearly every other Tarantino movie. Pulp Fiction is just one I do not like. And we've got Pomapoko. We have to put a Ghibli one that I'm not 100% behind. Again, I do not think they're all bad. They're just not movies I really enjoy. Number 6 is Leon the Professional. Leon the Professional follows a young girl who befriends a hitman after her family is killed by a corrupt cop, played by Gary Oldman, who is absolutely off his head in this movie. It's fantastic to watch. And we see sort of a mentorship growing between the two, as they look to get revenge on the cop who wants to finish off the job he started. Luc Besson also burst on the scene as a director with this, where he may make an appearance or two later through the years. Number 5, wow, Shawshank Redemption, only number 5. What else came out this year? For me, Shawshank Redemption is a brilliant, brilliant movie. I have never, and I never will, put it in any of my top 5 or top 10s of all time. It's just one of them. It's one where I had been told and told and told how good it was, and I watched it. I was like, yeah, it's really, really good, but for me, it's not in the top like 10 to 20 movies I've ever seen. I think everything about it is great. It's just not something I could watch over and over again, and I prefer films I could do that with. But it's in at number 5. It's pretty damn good, right? Number 4, New Nightmare. That's where we get controversial. I just put New Nightmare ahead of Shawshank Redemption. For me, New Nightmare is the movie that was well before its time. Now, we've seen Freddy Krueger appear a couple of times on this list, and after the third one, it turned more comedic, which was fine. It did go a bit too far in the end, but when we got this one, Wes Craven returned, and not only did he bring a new twist on this, he changed the game. He brought Freddy Krueger to real life, where he was haunting the actress who played the original heroine. Even having Robert Englund appearing, Wes Craven himself appears. One of the more famous stories apparently is that Wes Craven was too scared to ask Johnny Depp to appear, even though he had appeared in Freddy's Dead. Yeah, that happened. But for this one, it was so meta for the time. It did something that you would have to say paved the way for Scream to be as good as it truly was. And I will always praise this as I wouldn't say my favourite, but I think it's the best sequel in A Nightmare on Elm Street. I still have that soft spot for 3 because it's just funny. But this one definitely deserves a lot more credit than it ever got when it got released. Number 3 is Speed. Remember, I always say this every time. I like crazy action movies. Speed follows Jack Tavern, who has to save a bus who has gone over its speed limit, and if it goes below that speed limit, it will blow up after evil terrorists plans to blow it up for money. Yeah, it's just very, very simple. It is literally just stay above the speed limit or you'll die. And when the petrol runs out, or fuel, whatever you want to call it, the bus will go boom boom, and the terrorist wins and walks away. It really did change Keanu Reeves from like hippie to a friendly, funny guy to a serious action star that we know how good he truly is now. But this one was the one that really paved the way for him. Number 2 is Forrest Gump. My name's Forrest Gump. This list has Forrest Gump on it. This movie is a film that I watched at the perfect age to understand that the stories that he was telling were amazing to see. While I have seen a lot of people bash on it, for me it just has a special place in my heart because of just how nice the guy Forrest really is. Tom Hanks just excels, Gary Sinise, Sally Field. It is one of them you could just watch if you don't want to be looking for problems with the movie. It is beautiful, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, but I have to say, it's one of the very best. So what will number 1 be? The Lion King. Again, we're going right back here to when I was still in single digits, We're getting there, we'll get to double digits soon. But for me, The Lion King was one of the second movie I remember ever seeing at the cinema after Jurassic Park last time. And you were captivated by the beauty of the animation, the songs, everything just worked for me. It was one I could have watched over and over again, and damn well I did. As people will know, I really did not like the remake at all, because it just lacked the magic of this. I will always rave as Lion King as the best 90s Disney movie, and it's easily in the top 3 Disney movie ever made. But we made it to the end of this, so thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed seeing how my 1994 went for films. Let me know what your top 10 movies of 1994 are in the comments below. And until next time, where we'll be back with 1995, I just have to say thank you for watching.